Perfect. Let's get up fucking. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another special episode of Discombobulated, because today we have the most guests I've ever had on my podcast, and we are on episode 666. Would you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah, we actually are not. We are not that far along, but I do have a lot of special guests on my podcast today. We are going to talk to them individually, but right now we're just getting to them specifically. I'm Bobby Jaycox. I'm your host, and to my right, I have the very, very special Nathan Clemens, owner of the Comedy Cabin.
Yeah.
Very, very funny man. We met at a showcase next to I think it was like an ice cream shop, or they were like selling like snow cones or something.
Yeah,
outside.
so there was definitely some crimes against children that happened near where we were
Was it?
performing.
Yeah, there weren't too many kids for us to be like, just be like making dick jokes.
Yeah.
For sure. They were just a little too in earshot.
Yeah. I said excrement instead of cum, though, so I was real proud of my.
I'm proud of you
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
I'm honestly proud too. And next to him, we have another amazing comic who we have partied together. I know you like deeply. And today we looked for mushrooms together. AJ Grill, everybody. Yes, AJ.
Yeah, the eating kind, not the tripping kind. We looked for.
I know. Once I found that out, I was like, yeah, I'll still go. I was
Fair.
like, because you know what I mean? Like, it was like, yeah, because also I wouldn't eat those wild anyway. And then to his right, just met this weekend. We've had so much fun. Erin Morris, everybody. Woo! That's the cast, everybody. That's what we're doing. And also, let's start off because I'm so excited. You brought treats. Erin brought, like,
did
you
bring
guys,
treats.
maybe you guys both did. I know you guys stopped at the antique mall.
Yep.
Did you buy these from the antique mall?
These are from a BP.
the country store / BP.
Is it it seems like a classic BP. That's good. Yeah.
The one in Delavan, Darien by the strip club.
right by the strip
Yep.
club.
Yeah.
I
Right by
looked
the
it
strip
up
club.
last
Yeah.
night. I
Yeah.
almost went. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure they were doing good.
Hey,
They're not.
they're not.
Yeah, I mean, 1 out of 3. So what is it? Single mother, college student, drug problem. Like, 66% of those people are going through it, man.
Well, and I know
Doing homework.
I know in St. Louis, I know a handful of strippers, dancers, whatever you would like to be called, but they are like comedians. They're very much like, and I only know
Yeah.
female strippers. They don't have male strippers. I don't think they do that. They have Chippendales, but not nearby.
Yeah, we got one not far from here in Lake Como / Lake Geneva called
We
the
do?
Sugar Shack.
Lake Como
Yeah.
or
What's it called?
Lake?
Sugar Shack. You
Yeah.
said.
Ooh.
Yeah, so right outside where I
Sweet.
grew up. Saturday
joke was
nights
good.
only.
Lake Como.
But that's
or Lake
really where
Como.
you grew up. Is that?
Thank you. There we go. Aaron finally found it. I had to dig for it.
Just
to make
out
my
there,
pod.
just out there donging around with the boys.
Hey, you guys donging around looking for morels? Yeah, dude, we're looking for mushrooms. I got one right here. And then you see mine and you go, that one's not in season. It's not ready. It's still too early. You can pick that thing in a couple
It's still
weeks.
burrowing.
Maybe. Oh my God. So yeah, you brought us treat. What did you bring? We
Okay.
have cheese in
So-
many forms.
We do. Well, really just the two. We have cheese in cheese form and cheese in cake form. Oh, curd form, excuse me.
Yeah.
Cheese
Right.
curds and cheesecake. And then I also brought Pop Rocks.
I do love Pop Rocks. What do you think would happen? The cheese curds mixed with the Pop Rocks, do you think that you would explode?
Well, this is a truck stop charcuterie board.
Yeah. Dude, it is.
I also
And you
have
got the-
nuts.
you do. You have the nuts
Nuts?
that you could not get open the other day.
That's pretty cheesecake. I don't know if you can see that.
Honestly.
That's beautiful.
Honestly, killer cheesecake. We gotta try it.
We
We
got
got
a-
works.
We got a berry.
Dude, I'm gonna
Red,
dig into
white,
these
and
fucking
berry.
curds.
Yeah, see if they.
Okay, see if
so
they
you know
s-
they're good if they. Yeah, if they.
They squeak. You want a squeaky curd.
Wait, okay. Oh, wow, you were right. We probably do need scissors.
That's coward talk.
Dig in.
Oh, I gotta open them with my teeth. This episode is sponsored by Bantering. I wish my
The Lord's scissors teeth.
that my guests would banter while I tried to make cheese.
It's frustrating to watch.
Just watching them.
Great podcasting.
a
Opening
genius at
plastic
work.
with the microphone 2 inches away.
What's crazy too is that like anytime if you ever buy like pot from a dispensary,
Bobby,
they're
let me
like
see this.
they have this way to open. They have this thing for you to open it, and they're like so that kids can't. But when I fucking can't, I'm like I don't think. I bet a kid could probably get into here quicker with their
The
nimble
movie
fingers.
waiting. The movie waiting. The best line is when Ryan Reynolds grabs the lighter.
AJ got it.
When Ryan Reynolds grabs the lighter from the teenagers trying to smoke, he goes, "Damn childproof lighters."
Yeah. Whoa, dude, that's a
That's
big
a big
curd.
You want a smaller? You want
That-
I would like a smaller curd.
Yeah, I think that was
Can
supposed
I put
to be-
that back? Is
that was
gross?
supposed to be
I think it
4.
is, but that's I want a smaller curd.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're not getting cheese.
Off the dairy.
Dude, I'm gonna dip this.
Dude, I'm under
into
200
this.
pounds.
No, don't do that.
$199 and a quarter.
Well,
Nice. They don't ask how. They ask how many.
You don't look 199 at all.
Thank you.
You look. I mean, you're like, yeah. You look great, dude. I'm gonna dip this in here. Is this gross? Probably.
That might.
Is this gross?
I've really gross.
Nah, dude, that's like that double down sandwich KFC did. Chicken on chicken.
They're not squeaky at all. These are
No?
not squeaky. They're good, but they're not
I'm the
squeaky.
squeakiest thing in the room, dude. Fucking not the.
Appleton.
Fucking Skyline. The Fox Valley. Be better. Also, book me and pay me $16 per set. Thank you.
The cheese curd factory?
Anybody?
Yeah, he's doing
Can we
20 at the
please
curd
pay you
factory.
in cheese?
I got 6 new minutes on kangaroos I'm trying to hop to.
Yeah. What is the worst you've ever been paid, or like in most? Because we were talking about that last night. We all went to go eat. And by the way, someone bought our meal. And last night I went to go pay, and they go, someone actually bought it. And I thought it was those sweet ladies that were sitting by us. And then I was like, no, it's those dudes who were at the show.
Yeah.
We went to go to the bathroom, and they go, AJ! They screamed their name.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the best.
They bought
That's
our
celebrity
they bought
life.
It. Yeah. And I was like, I wish I got a couple more pancakes.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, they bought us our dinner at Denny's.
Yeah. Big high rollers here in Jaysville.
Yes. It was very
Did you
nice.
notice how
No,
much?
it's actually very
I know
sweet.
you both noticed. $15 for a Denny's Grand Slam now. All right, that's
Yeah.
inflation at its. That's how you know when it's hit the Denny's.
I'm not joking. I never, once I go out to eat late at night, like,
You're not
just
looking.
spending.
I don't ever.
Yeah.
And I know that's not good for like how money works.
Yeah.
But once I go out, I just pick things like we were talking about at Taco Bell. Like I just keep ordering until I'm like, am I been talking too long? And I just stop.
Did I just read the center menu?
Dude, we were talking about this last night. Me and my buddy one time got so much Taco Bell, we kept ordering. We're like, all right, thanks. And then they handed us this embarrassing bag.
Like catering?
It's so big. Yeah. And we're like, thank you. They go, no, we have another bag for you. I was like, and then they're like, do you want sauces? And they're like shuffling it into the fucking car. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I just ask too many questions where I just become annoying. Where I'm like, so what's your favorite thing on the menu? And they're
To a
like,
fast food person.
they're like, there's 10 cars
You'll
behind
ask
you.
a fast food person, what's your favorite thing?
That's insane.
That is insane.
No, it's not
Cool.
insane
That's
because
actually
I
cool.
worked in fast food and you get that food for free. And if you're getting, you like, you eat it.
Dude,
They're the experts.
oh man, I don't. Okay, Subway or
They're like,
in
what do you
person?
eat? And she's like, Percocets.
All right. Yes. Are they loose? Let me smell that pocket. If you're in a vehicle, you should know what you're ordering. I believe that. If you're going to a place you've never been, it's your first time at a Carl's Jr., some shit like that, get out.
Well,
Get out.
yeah, but no, you can't get out at a fast food place anymore. Like you have to like know a guy. Like they're like check. There's like a random guy that's just like, can I see your ID? I
They
don't go
got
in.
kiosks and stuff now half
I'm
the
not-
time inside.
Yeah,
man.
I
Go
went
inside. Go on an adventure. Make a
No.
friend.
I hate going inside, like, because when you go inside of McDonald's now, you have to go in and they're like, don't even talk to me. Go order over there.
Go to the
Get the
big
fuck
screen.
over there. Don't even look There's like a cop pointing a gun at you until you order. Like, I'm sorry.
There's 3-year-olds that know what they want from McDonald's. Like, I'll give you if you're at Subway for the first
Totally.
time or something.
But, I
like,
will say this: there are times where I go, and once I pull around, like they'll change. Like Taco Bell is pretty notorious for like kind of changing it up.
Yeah.
So I'll get a little panicky once I get there, and I'm trying to order shit. But then once I kind of get like a flow going, I don't ask them what they want, but I do have that, and I go. And I'm just looking for something that's gonna fucking make my day. Something that I've never heard of. I'm like, can I get a strawberry taco or whatever? Something I've never heard of, and I'm like, I'll annoy them with like the. But you'll ask them, be like, what do you want a Baja Blast?
What I really do ask about, because there's always a bunch of new shit, and I'm like, is it worth it? Because it's like, if it's limited time, if something is only on the menu for a limited amount of time, I want to say that I tried it.
Yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
but
What
if
the
it's
hell
not
is that? That's
good,
so trash.
I don't want to waste my time. So I was like, "How is the creamsicle frosty?" And they were like, "Best we've ever had." And I said, "Sold."
I feel like that's different asking them if they like something specific versus being like, what's your favorite?
I
I
think
feel like
it's-
those are two different questions.
I don't think you're allowed. Yeah, I do think you should.
I have a direction I'm going in, but if I'm doing my
All right,
add-ons
if you're-
at the
listen,
end,
you head into California and you ask which way you're going, I'll give you that. But just being like, where are you going is insane to me.
I think what Nathan is saying is do your own research.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, this is true.
It's like, can I get two tacos and who does your taxes? I'm like,
Dude, it's like
taking
those
any
weirdos on the
suggestions.
community pages. Where they're
Yeah.
like looking for a recommendation. My son's in college here. His window shield,
Yeah.
window broke. Window shield. That's good English. Like, fucking call SafeLight.
Google window shield. Yeah,
It's a verb now.
Yeah.
Do it.
yeah.
yeah.
What is the last thing? I'm sorry. Like, what's the last seasonal thing or limited time thing you had that you're happy that you can tell
Yeah.
strangers you had?
creamsicle. It was
Nice,
so
nice.
good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
We were talking about it last night. I was like, I wish we could get one.
There was Wendy's right next to the Denny's, and I almost asked if we could go.
Do they have it
over
right
there?
now?
There,
Do they have them still?
Oh yeah. I asked. I was like, should I get one? And then I ordered a large, thinking that like it was like a McFlurry situation where they had like the small size was like smaller, and then I ordered. They gave me a whole like a fountain drink worth of frosty.
Wendy's is pretty good about having like limited time seasonal burgers and stuff pretty regularly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always scared to try them.
I've only eaten at Wendy's once in my life, and I got the chili, and it was really disappointing.
Oh, the chili. Yeah, people are like, it's great. I'm like, yeah, because I guess no one else fucking sells chili.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I guess
what's
you've never had
what's the
chili in
selling
your
point?
life.
Yeah. But the selling point's like, oh, we got square burgers. It's like, I want mine to be round.
Yeah, I don't have a preference on shapes. Well, that shocks me, man. All these years on the road, only Wendy's once.
Am I autistic? I don't know why the square burger kind of feels like someone like some weird animal started
it was
it
like-
for you, like started eating it. Like I got you some angles on this burger. I ate the edge. It was a big patty, and I shortened it. I don't know why I like that.
It seems like they are. They're cutting the corners, like save to like grind up to feed to the children that they have working in the back. I
Yeah,
don't
which
know.
that's what we eat. The other night I did eat like when you get like chicken fingers or whatever, and it's like this is rib meat or whatever. And I used to be able to eat a lot of those, and I ate them. And after I did, I was like, that's not food. Like I really am. Like I am starting to feel it. Like we were talking about like McDonald's. I'm like physically, I do love it. It tastes great. The next day, I'm like, did I eat like something that was dead?
Yeah,
like I was like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Yeah, your body starts to turn on. Do you ever see a kid eat a burger upside down and just know they don't read good?
Wait. No,
You know what I'm
Ew.
saying? Like they do. Ew, thank you. Like because you visualize it. You know what I'm talking about?
But honestly, I get
I
grossed
do.
out. I get grossed out in the peripheral. I'll see a kid in my. That's how little. Like I don't have kids. I don't have like my brother doesn't have kids. Like I don't have anyone who has kids. So when I see him in my peripheral, I'm just like ew. Like I don't even know watching how they. Eat
I don't even watch
sandwiches.
their activity.
No.
Okay, you guys have worked with kids.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to-
Oh, you can tell
Yeah.
a kid.
You've seen
Yeah.
some wild shit.
I
on
would
field
fucking
trips,
be
I'm
like,
sure.
you fucking idiot. I'd be like, yeah. I'm like, you idiot.
He's using chopsticks properly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this one.
I'm like, show me how to do that. Yeah.
But I will, if I have a burger and it's getting grease on the bottom, dude, take a bite and you flip that fucker over. That's how you avoid the grease. That's a technique.
That's a technique if you're like at a Red Robin or having a big burger. I get it, but you're doing that with like a logistics in mind. I'm talking about an insane child that's just like, I want sesame seeds on my tongue. They're just not paying attention to it.
That's an innovator.
Yeah.
That is a kid with some special taste.
Is speaking of fast food and making sandwiches wild. Me and my what would you guys call it at McDonald's? Did you ever do the thing you'd order McChicken and a McDouble, and you would put the McChicken inside the McDouble?
Oh, I never did that.
Well, we called it something. I don't know if it's a good word, but one time I ordered. I go, "Hey, can we get a McChicken and a McDouble?" And the guy goes, "Are you trying to make a?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you want me to just make it that way for you?" And he made it that way, hot and ready. And I was like, "You're my hero." I was like,
Is it like a slur you're trying to avoid saying? Is that the
it's
problem?
like it's just not good. It's like, and I don't know. It's called a McGangbang, and I don't think that's like.
Oh,
good.
that's fine. That's
yeah,
good.
dude. I thought we were gonna be like really saying
Yeah,
slurs, and that's why I was
yeah.
invited on this podcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Poop,
Well,
crap,
please
poop.
don't. I don't even know how to edit. So if I did, I'd be like, "We're so fucked." And you're like, "It's not live," and I'm like, "But I have to put it out tomorrow. 14 people are waiting for it."
Like Nathan said the K word. What's the K word?
Dude, I started a podcast, and I don't have it public. I just put it on like my private stories, and I'm surprised how many of my friends watch it. And then like at like a show or something, we'll randomly be like, "Hey, man. You okay? You seem like real mad at Menards yesterday." And I'm like, huh?
yeah.
But I recorded whatever I was complaining about like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what was I mad about?
Well, isn't it weird? There's times where you think you're like, whenever you make anything, stand up or whatever, if you put something out that anyone could see it, you're like, who sees it? And I'm like, the other day, my uncle goes, "Hey, I was listening to your podcast the other day," and I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah," and he made me laugh. He goes, "You could call it Jay and Not So Silent Bob." I was like, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good, Uncle Mike.
That's funny. Jason Mewes does stand up or like some version of it, doesn't he? I feel like I see.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go see it,
Does
but
he-
I've heard he does stand up.
Is it
Yeah.
like a story thing or is it an act?
I have no
I've
idea.
never seen it. I don't know.
Kevin Smith, right?
Kevin's
That's the other guy.
Silent Bob.
Yeah, that's Silent Bob and like the writer,
Yeah.
creator.
Okay, because
I've never seen those movies.
I have not seen them either, but my mom worked. I can talk about this because he like made a whole post about it. I believe.
Watch
Sounds
out,
like you're about to say.
Watch
the
out,
K
16
word.
viewers. Class action
My-
lawsuit.
okay, but I don't know who I'm not gonna reveal any information. Just that my mom knows him because she worked at a rehab place. But he was he's
Oh yeah, he's super.
he's
Jason Mewes,
super
he's
open
super
about it.
open about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was
Man, I
like,
thought we were getting dirt.
You're so ready for something bad that you're like, come on!
I'm out here trying to move tickets, dude.
You're
Who
like,
did he
"Come
touch?
on, here to
Who did he touch?
Oh my god!
So what you asked earlier though? What's the least we've ever been paid for a gig?
Or like the weird,
Wow, way to
or
bring
it's
it
just
back.
like
Holy shit, I
weirdest.
forgot about that.
Or it's like weirdest, and I was like,
Weirdest.
what's the
Bowl of sauerkraut.
Shut up! What?
Bowl of sauerkraut. My
Bowl of sauerkraut.
my second road gig
That's
ever.
toppings, right?
Yep.
You were paid in toppings.
My second road
good
gig ever. We were at a
Your
show.
gut health has never been better though.
And it was- It was like part of what we were being paid for was a dinner, and all that like they remembered to bring the table for a solid 20 minutes was just a bowl of sauerkraut.
Whoa.
And I bombed so hard, like I didn't ask for my pay, so I just in my head, I just had it in my head, like that was what you got paid.
Dude, that is funny whenever you
That's what
bomb
you
and then you are
deserved.
like, so where's that check?
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, and they're like, the laugh-o-meter didn't go off. You're actually pretty fucked, buddy.
You
We're
actually
gonna have
owe
to pay
us
you.
money.
Yeah, AJ didn't do his time yesterday, so I got to write that check in a little bit.
You wouldn't have known if I didn't tell you that.
Wait, you did? Wait, you what?
Yes, I
I went short last night, and
know
I,
your time.
Oh.
I came.
Be a
I
professional.
knew what I was doing. I was just like, "Fuck these people! I'm
That
out
is
of
one
here."
That guy in his gum,
Dude.
Dude, I love when you're the only person that I ever see get mad at an audience that I like find funny. You get so tense.
But you
in
don't
the
really get
head.
mad. Maybe I haven't seen it.
Well,
But he
he's
didn't
like-
get
he
mad.
doesn't
Like last
attack
night,
them.
you were funny. You
Yeah,
were so funny when you go,
that's
look
what
at
I
you.
do, like,
You
It
come
is
here to
always
chew
funny,
gum.
but like you get like attention to you.
Yeah,
that, like
like
if
I-
you've worked with you enough, you know, like
Because
the audience thinks it's part of the act.
Totally, like it is making me mad, but like, I don't want to be like the guy like blows up on an audience, but I want to like let them know that I know that they're not having a good time, and that makes me not have a good time.
No, you were very in the
Yes.
moment and in for the room, man. Like it
Yeah.
was the gum
I
shit was
could
killing.
swear to God, I could hear him chewing his gum.
Yeah, 'cause don't you feel
I
insane
feel-
when you try to pretend you'll be on stage and they're not having fun and you're just like, oh yeah, like you try to pretend like it's good. I have to be like, what's going on?
And it's
Yeah.
okay if someone doesn't like me. That's okay. But like his table, it was like he was like trying not to have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I could see from the back. I could see his facial expression from the back of his head. I could tell that like you could just
I
tell
know
how
what
he
you
was
mean.
sitting.
You start
Yeah.
you see enough comedy, you start to like put that together. Like you could just like
Yes.
visualize
Body
it.
language, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a show in St. Louis on Wednesday where I just looked out and I was like, you are just pissed. And what's crazy is sometimes that was enough. Like she was just like this. She was like, and once I said it, she literally like adjusted in her seat. Like I think some
Yeah.
people just kind of like forget where they're at. But even I'll go to like rock shows or whatever, like to go see music, and I'm like jumping up and down. And I hate watching people just like standing there. I'm like, you're supposed to kind of do something.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
fun.
Like you shouldn't lie.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
you should be like, I came here to have a good time instead of being like, see how funny you are, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you ever feel like some guys in the audience though, like Aaron? I wonder if you run into this guys that just don't want to laugh at a woman, like they have it in
Oh,
their head.
yeah.
I mean, some women are like that too, though. You're up against it as the fair species.
Oh, I had a woman come up to me and she was like, "Oh,
Well, that's what
Did
we were
you-
looking for.
what did- what
we were
did
looking
you
for
do?
different
Actually, let's
species
repeat
of
that.
mushrooms, and he's like, "Did you guys find any morels or women in the forest? Did you guys fucking?"
she did."
So he's like, "I'm looking for dirt. I'm gonna say there are different species."
You got mushrooms. I want to know the gender of these mushrooms. Are they the psychedelics or the edible
They're
kind?
phallic,
This episode
dude.
is sponsored by cheese curds.
Obviously, guys.
Anyone can
Wait, the
have
mushrooms
them.
are flaccid?
Phallic.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that word means.
It means it looks like a penis.
I've definitely had. I don't really address it because I find I'm a little like I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid that someone's gonna get mad at me. That I'm like everyone's having a great. I think it's just
Yeah.
because I came from like a yelling
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
You kind
that
of
I'm
stand
like,
up kind of helps you get out. Don't you feel like stand up helps
Oh.
you get out of that a little bit though? Like the longer
Oh.
you do it, you feel a little bit. You kind of get this confidence in telling people to be like, "No, fuck you" or whatever.
No, I'm not quite there yet. I'm
really?
so afraid. I'm like, please.
You seem confident. Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
just
why.
smile, maybe.
But yeah, early on at a comedy club once, I thought they were making a joke because when I grew up, I definitely didn't have this. Where like no one in my family that for like they weren't perfect, but no one was ever like men or women or like one's funny or this or that.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time at a comedy club, they were like, and these women aren't funny. And I thought that was like, yeah, they aren't funny, right? And then they're like, seriously? And I was like, when I was a kid, I remember being like, people were like, I was like, dude, when Molly, I was like, I want to see Molly Shannon's movie and Will Ferrell's movie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
so to me, that was always weird.
Dude,
Yeah.
we see a huge dip in
Yeah.
ticket sales, man, unless it's a big name.
What do you mean?
Like if we have a female headliner, we see a pretty big dip. It's,
Really?
yeah. And we
Even-
book funny's
yeah.
funny, but like it's unless
also
it's a big name.
Product of like, I mean, Janesville it's like what 60,000 to 80,000 people.
Yeah.
All
So-
men.
Oh yeah, all dudes. Yeah.
Even the women, dudes.
Yeah, I don't even understand. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that sucks
yeah.
about just rural. I mean, rural America is like we see it for if it's a non-white dude, we will see a dip unless it's a big name.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
really
that
want to
sucks.
just hit on anything that's like by the electric fence. You're like, yeah, but there's a lot of problem with
He's a
different
truth teller,
races and
dude.
speed.
Truth
You're talking
teller.
about races and speed. Yeah.
It sucked. Yeah, we're talking
No,
about species.
no,
What I was trying to
joking.
get to is that guy with the gum. Do you ever feel like the guy is mad? He's seeing someone be funnier because he's the funny guy in his friend group because he's the guy quoting memes. So
Yeah.
they're almost
Yeah.
kind of like,
Or like,
I mean, I'm gonna say this joke tomorrow on the line.
Yeah.
Or like it's like, especially like that guy was there with his wife, and if it's like their partner is like having a fun time, like watching the comedian,
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
kind of like,
Jealousy
who's this
almost.
fucking guy? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm just
Oh, he
doing
didn't
my
like
job.
me either.
No, he
He didn't really like
I
anybody.
think you cracked him at the end when you finally were just like making fun of him, but
Yeah, it definitely took a little bit of like picking the lock and
Yeah,
being like,
yeah.
what's going
Yeah,
on?
the rape shit really got him. With no context, let's just say that sentence.
Oh my god. Oh man. Well, where do you want to take that?
dude, I needed a new podcast clip, and now this isn't gonna happen.
What are you talking about? You didn't say any rape shit. That was a great joke. It was a great joke.
We just got back from commercial. If anyone's wondering, that whole part won't be on the podcast at all. I have to learn how to edit this podcast.
Oh man, you were saying the worst that we've ever got paid for.
That
a
was
show.
what I was just going to
Well,
bring it back to.
I got paid $10 for a show last weekend, so you still get those.
That's not, but on,
It's
well,
a
I was
local show.
sure. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I was like, and there, like that's at least, that's kind of. And I know it sucks, but I was talking to a comic today who like he just started, and he's like, yeah, I kind of want to do more stuff, and I'm like, well, if you run shows, you learn how hard it is. So, like when you're asking what you're asking, like what it feels like to get the lights set up, work the business side of it and stuff too. And I told him, I was like, here's like some of the standard pays, but also, if it's just above an open mic showcase at a bar, if you tell people up front, the only time I think it sucks is if they were like, I thought it was gonna be 50.
Yeah.
And then they're like 10.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, 10 it does, at some point you're like, if someone came here to like paint everyone's faces, or whatever, you wouldn't be like, we only got $10.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I mean?
exactly,
You were like,
exactly.
you would pay them like or whatever. But so you were paid $10 this weekend.
$10 last weekend. Yeah, this weekend Nathan's paying me $10 for the weekend.
I am now.
That's more than me headlining.
I do remember one time there's a producer in the state of Wisconsin that these guys will probably know who it is, but he's notorious for like offering like weird amounts of time and money in like random places, and he's never there. He's never at the show. And it was like a July 4th. He hit me up like 2 days before. It was like 4-hour round trip. He's like, yeah, I'll give you like $12 for 15 minutes and free food and drinks. I was like, on the 4th of July, $12
Yeah.
for 15 minutes, free food and drinks, and I got to drive 4 hours? No.
Yeah.
That's a no for me, dog.
Dude, what's crazy is I just started saying no. Like
wanna say
I
his
always
name.
would be like, if people like they're like it's anything, and I'm like, that's a write off that I will forget about. Like or whatever. Like, I drove. I remember once I was at Helium in St. Louis, and it was my first time opening for Taylor Williamson. And he was like, he threw it out there. I was like, hey man, this has been a fun weekend. And he goes, hey, if I'm ever close enough and you want to do a show, he's like, let me know, you can open for me. And I go, well, I just like looked at your website and just like, checking out I was like, your next show's in LA. I go, I'll come out for that. And he goes, it's one show. And I go, yeah. He goes, it's $100. And I go, yeah. He goes, there's no hotel. I go, yeah. And he looked at the host. He goes, is this guy fucking crazy? And I was like, no. I was like, and they're like, I like doing that, but I will say the amount of times that it has ever flipped into something for me, it's always fun. And there's a comic that I was just talking to the other day, and he said something where he was like, I always say no to those. And he seems more level-headed where he's at than I was at his age. So I think that is better. I think knowing your boundaries and saying no, because I mean, if you even drove, I know this sounds like a mom thing, but like, let's say you drive out to that show and someone hits your car, you're like, I was already not gonna make that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there is a level. Whenever you say that too, I feel like there is a level of comedy where people are like, fuck that, I'm not doing that show, but I will go to every open mic for free this week. And it's like sometimes you do have to. There are times where you get paid little, but at some point knowing when to say
journey
no.
about it. And that's what thing that's cool about comedy. I mean, at one point, life serves the risk taker. I mean, you're like, hey, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to LA, do a show. Who knows? You could have maybe got more. You could have met somebody. But
that's
there
what
is
I told
an
my
element,
buddy the other
everyone's
day.
in a different place. You know,
Yeah.
you got kids, a relationship, a dog.
Yeah.
But if you don't, and you can take those shots,
You can,
you're gonna miss if you don't take a shot.
Well, that's
so
what I was
it's,
talking
I
to
see
my buddy
both
about the other
sides.
day. I was like, does bad things happen to me? Because we were hanging out in I've had my car impounded, all this stuff. And the other day, I can't remember what it specifically happened, but my buddy told his girlfriend, he goes, that shit always happens to Bobby. And I go, but I'm like, but am I fucking around more? So I'm finding out even more often. I was like, so it's like, there are risk takers, but also it's like, I feel like I've taken those risks, but I would say that there are times that like, kind of back to what you were saying about it being a little like, that's a weird thing about stand up is being like a little like I'll feel sheepish and we're supposed to be the most confident. People are like, I'd rather die than do stand up. So I'm trying to like work on that and to have like to be like, I'm not going to do that. Like I just said no to something the other day to someone because when I asked them to do the show, they go, you got to pay me more. And I took it out of my pay. I go, okay, you're my friend. And then they just had me on a show and I was like, what's the pay? And they didn't even know. And then they put me on the show and I was like, you got to take me off. And I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, that's crazy that it doesn't go both ways.
Yep.
And to me, it's not specifically the money. It does become a little bit about the respect and your actual time in a time where like, money's tight for everybody. So as a comic, if you do one thing and then that sets you back or whatever, like it fucking sucks. But yeah, that's weird. So you've been paid 10 and then you've been paid. What did you say you got paid?
A bowl of sauerkraut.
A bolus. I forgot because that's literally not payment. That's crazy. A sauerkraut. Like did you eat it?
No. I don't like fermented things. So I don't trust them.
I don't. Yeah, and you can't just eat that. And then what was the weirdest you were paid?
So I don't know that I have like a weirdest. I have my favorite, which was one of Nathan's shows that he does, Gravity Box Brewing in Boston. Great show, super fun. I don't drink, so drink tickets are fun, but it's usually just like a Diet Coke for me. But they actually like make their own soda there.
Yes.
And it's like a gourmet, like it's
That's a gourmet root beer.
Yeah, they've got like a nice root beer, they've got a cherry soda, and I'm really all about that type of stuff. So it is weird being like a sober comic with like drink tickets because that'll be like a common thing. It's also tough if you're driving, like even if you're not sober, like it's like, you know, but drink tickets for me, I'm happy to get them. I've worked for drink tickets. It's not bad. It's that's how
it's a low level form of payment. It's definitely like the punk rock when you're like, sure, 2 beers and a $5. Let's go.
But the payment is also It was more like the payment was more like the growth that I got from able to do the spot.
Yeah.
But in terms of like something that you're like driving super far for, it's like I know that it's gonna be like a good show.
Yes.
Typically, or like I'm doing another show that's up in like Chippewa Falls, and it's the first show that's at that venue. I'm excited to do it, but I'm just going to turn it into a weekend in Minneapolis. Like I'm just going to be like, well, it's like half an hour from the Twin Cities, so I'm like, I might as well just like make a fun weekend out of it.
Yeah,
that's how I feel when I go to Chicago.
Yeah,
I don't expect to get paid shit. It ends up just being like, how responsible can I be before get back on the freeway?
Yeah, 100%. And like, I will even. Like I'll talk to other comics and they're like, I just kind of like hung out. And even the other day, I just like walked around the mall because I'm like, I just can't sit and wait all day for like to do a show.
Dude,
like
so much of comedy, so much of it's just waiting to go up, waiting to get
that's
to
why
the
I
gig.
feel like I do better whenever I drive across the country because just sitting on a plane, like just sitting, I'm like, I feel a little bit more free that I can get out,
agree.
stop at a park or whatever.
Get that square burger.
Yeah, get that square. Yeah, dude. Fucking call me a square. That's all I eat, dude. I fucking becoming one.
Got to be in geometry.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the weirdest thing I like. Yeah, because I've definitely been I definitely got paid and like had the drink tickets and then went on stage and bombed so hard that I gave them back and was like, I have to go. Like I was like, here's these wooden tickets.
Yeah.
This sucked so bad. They're like, do you want to? I'm like, what? Maybe, but I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
So those are weird. But I honestly like I love. And I'm not trying to sound like how everyone loves it or whatever, but like I love stand up. So it's like I like being in the room, just hanging out. So there's so many times where I'm like, if I didn't get paid that much, I'm like, that's fine. The only time it sucks is, again, it's the respect. If someone says they're going to pay you and then they're like, I don't remember that. You're like, fucking, do we really have to do this for $30?
Or you get the sorry
Yeah.
man. I thought it was going to be a hundo, but here's 50.
And then every once in a while, like we were talking, there's not just negatives. Every once in a while, you get taken or helped out by people. Because you had messaged me, because we had talked a long time ago, whenever I took this, we were like figuring out, you're like, what things do you like or not like about a comedy club? And then you had reached out to me. And that feels nice, because sometimes you feel like, oh man, I'm just grinding out, and then someone will offer you a weekend or whatever, or a one nighter on like at a theater, and they pay you, and you're like, I didn't know you could make. We were talking about when you get paid so much, you're like 1 minute in, how much money am I making?
Yeah, dude,
2 minutes in.
yes.
Like you're like dividing it. You're like, let's fucking go. Like
I'm making lawyer money over here.
I told him, I got one time I got Venmo'd so much money from doing like 3 shows with a comic that I literally was like, I can't. If my phone breaks, do I lose this? I was like, I'm like, how does crypto work? Yeah. I'm like not letting people see my phone. I'm like, don't steal my Venmo.
So that's gotta be wild because you guys are both like a decade plus in.
Yes.
So like Erin and I are like 2 to 5 years ish.
Yep.
Yeah. So like you guys have done big theaters, worked with some real fucking big names. So like that's got to be kind of a wild teeter-totter of emotion from being like, I'm in front of 8,000 people paying rent with this check.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, the 2 drink tickets and $10 doing something in West Dallas. Like,
Yeah, it's depressing as fuck, man. Yeah.
damn, I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's just the nature of it.
Well, and but what's interesting too is it's like, because we all watch the same clip, so it's like it's not like when you'll see like Tom Segura will have like his opener is like Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
So when he comes out, they're like,
Yeah.
when we come out, they're like, how many more till I see them? And like, I definitely had like when I opened for I literally when I opened up for Chappelle, I've never felt more unwanted in my life. Like I've never felt more like people, because this is when he first came back, and people, I was just like, hey, and they're like, is he behind you? Like, where is this
Did he
guy?
God mic you? Because I intentionally usually they'll have the big
No, but Dimitri Martin gave me the coolest God mic. I was about to go on. I was like, Dimitri, nice to meet you. My name's Bobby. That's all I said. And he goes, oh, nice to meet you. And the show was like about to start because they were all doing stuff. And we were backstage at the pageant in St. Louis, which is like, it was so chill. And I was like, I love Dimitri. And I was like, I'm really excited. I go, what do you want me to say bringing you up? And he goes, what? And then he goes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show tonight. Your headliner, Dimitri Martin. Your opener. Oh no, he goes, your headliner, just some douchebag from New Jersey. And he goes, so Dimitri Martin, and then he goes, and your opener from here, he's one of the best, whatever. He's like, Bobby Jaycox. I was like, he like knew my name. He like brought me out. And I was like, that's how I knew he was a pro. And then what's weird is I drank 3 beers and I think I just had too many cigarettes and I passed out. And I literally got on stage, went upstairs in my green room and passed out so long that they're like, have you guys seen Bob? Like, they were looking for me, and they found me, and they like set me up, and a guy was like, "Hey, there's a homeless guy," and I'm like, "No, that's the opener." Yeah. I literally passed out at that show, and my cousin like picked me up, and I go, and I just got fired from my job too. Swear to God, and I told him, I got fired, and the next day I told him I had a show, and he goes, "That's great." And I go, yeah. And he goes, I thought you got fired. I was like, not from stand-up. I was like, that's so fucking funny.
Man, that would be funny.
It always makes me think of that fucking...
like a union? Like
We should be able to fire people.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my God.
Yeah, when Louis first came back, I went to Iowa to see him because he was doing such limited dates. And he did a thing, like he got on the God mic. He's like, I got 5 guys I brought with me. They're so funny. Give them the same love you'd give me. And I remember seeing that because this is like 8 years ago. And I'm like, that's the move. When they're there for you, make sure you like set it up that you're telling them like, I trust this guy, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Versus just like some generic guy making $4.
Yeah, the God mic thing's cool. I've opened up for Nikki Glazer, and she goes out and she's like, she'll introduce the show, she'll bring you out, she gets them pumped. And it's like, that is so helpful because it is like, when I opened up for my favorite band Story of the Year, and they were like, so you just want to go out? And I was like, and then Dan, the lead singer, goes, well, I'll bring you out. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ask it of him.
Yes.
But if I just walk out, they're like, because they're already seeing bands that they like, but they're like, you're here to see the headliner. So to get another thing added, you're like, come on.
That's a lot. That's why we do the
Totally.
God mic. I mean, sometimes I'll bomb it, but I think it makes a difference.
I think it makes a difference too. And people just setting it up because people have expectations and people want to see what they want to see or whatever. But yeah, the experience of like, I don't know how you feel, but like the experience of being at a theater it does a lot of things, but I always think it reminds you of how lucky we are in comedy clubs because it's totally set up for that. Because you'll go to a theater and you're getting paid the most. It's like spectacle. There's like all this shit, and then you go out and you do this joke, and you can't like it's like a different vibe, and you're like, and like your jokes hit differently. So then you get off stage, and usually, unless you've done a tour, by the time you figure it out, you're like, well, great, now I'm back to not doing those.
Right.
So it's kind of hard, but it is like. I've heard people who they don't have any problem with it. Like I've talked to comics that are like, I do just fine. So I think some people do, but it's a definite adjustment from being like, look at your fucking hat to being like, I can't see. There's 2,000 of
you're
you.
like looking into space. Like you're still up there. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I mean, like I was given the advice, like just pause a little longer for the laughs. And like I felt, pretty comfortable.
Once you're saying one Mississippi in your head, you know you're in your head. Once you're like, one Mississippi. I'm like, look around like a human. Breathe like a human.
But if the comic doesn't do the God mic, like I'll always like make some joke about like, oh yeah, you got to put up my bullshit, or I'll be like, oh, the headliner's actually not here. I'm filling in. Like, I'm just fucking around.
Doing some kind of silly thing or whatever. But there's a lot of fucking there's a lot of nuances to it, and what's weird is like I'll talk to musicians that are like, no, it's pretty like standard. Stand-up's the only one where it's like really weird to like figure out the entire universe of it and figure out like not only how to do it, but how to get booked, like who to work with and stuff. And as you being the owner of the Comedy Cabin, what do you look for? Because like on my way here, the amount of people that were like, yo, can I just come with you or whatever? It's kind of getting weird. I love helping people and I want to do stuff, but it's weird that we live in this time that like guys who are like, and I'm not shitting on it. I know some of these guys, but there'll be a guy in a security outfit. They'll be like, can I do a guest spot for you? And the guy's like, well, who's going to, if someone goes at me,
who's watching the door, bro?
So like, what do you say right now? And like, and I don't think that anyone can get like on a high horse of being like, this is the way, but like, if you were like a comic trying to get in at the Comedy Cabin, what things could they be doing, attempting and trying and stuff for you being in the city or outside of the city?
Yeah. So being funny and like having a good reputation goes so far. Like when friends will say like, hey, you're going to like this person and stuff, like I can trust them, that makes a difference. Or if you're going to like shoot over like a, hey, if they actually find out my name and they say, hey, Nathan, if they don't say like so-and-so gave me your information, like there's a little bit of like, and I'm not saying you can't like shoot clips over and stuff, but more and more people are bringing their own features and that they're giving them opportunity. And if they come through and crush, like I want to still be, we're only 100 seats. Like I want to also be a developmental club. We got a lot of friends that have done their first, headlining sets or first club weekends here. And like, they might feel like, but it's Nathan or like, but it's still that accomplishment. And I take a lot of pride when I look at that wall, like being like, oh, these people earned it or they were good to me.
Yeah. We were looking at when we were leaving and it's cool. Cause like sometimes you'll go to a comedy club and you're like, what the hell? I don't know. And these are all guys from like a time you're like, I've never seen any of these guys.
Yeah, like
and
Zany's Old Town, like they got black and white photos on some of them.
Yeah, sure. And we were looking at ones the other day and we were all like, just not even like trying to. We were just on our way out. I was like, oh yeah. We were like pointing out comics we all love.
Yeah.
And that's what you just said. Like that is the word of mouth that goes around as people being like, this guy's a good guy or this guy asks too much. Cause like I know people that have told like will be like, you could ask more, or sometimes like no one's gonna let you know you're asking too much, and that's the craziest thing.
It is a tough line to walk. I got people that like when I see him jokingly like, oh, he don't book me or he don't do this. We got a festival coming up here, and I've seen a couple shitty comments that I know like were geared towards me. And like I purposely didn't do 100% of the booking. Like we had a committee to make sure we could, try to keep things fair and stuff. But it's whenever you kind of, I don't want to say a position of power because like I don't know, like I don't feel that way. You're just going to have people be shitty with stuff. And now I think with social media and there being so many comics, people think they have more than they have. I'm coming up on 5 years and I just now feel comfortable saying yes to 20-minute spots. And I got people that are like 2 years in, they're like, so I'm headlining this house show. I'm doing 30. I'm like, cool. I've never seen you do a coherent 5. Sure. So it's insane. Like, and I think there's an element of, we've talked about this on like not asking for too much, but like being confident in yourself too. Like you got to walk that weird line. But you also got to give yourself credit. There's a lot of, I'll say nuance again, but like there just is. There's no perfect path.
Yeah. And what do you look like? So for sure being funny, and you said like being consistent so that people know who you are and stuff. And then like what, like if someone is like, if an audit, like one thing, this is something that I like to do specifically is if I'm going to go to, like I was like on my way here, I'll stop at a place or whatever. And just because of, I have a good reputation, and without even asking, someone will be like, I think I've seen you before or something or whatever. I'll be like, I'm a comic, and they'll be like I was at the Laugh Factory in Chicago, and he goes, do you want to go up? And I was like, I swear I just came to watch. If a comic came to your club and you didn't know I'm a comic and I want to watch, would you be like, yeah, fucking come hang out?
Yeah, we're far enough away from like any real cities and stuff that it'll be a thing. But like every now and then we'll have a headliner come through that someone's familiar with. Catherine Blanford's coming through on a one-nighter. Neil Rubenstein's going to be here this Sunday. Like I'll open the doors if somebody's on the road, like any day. Like I got a special place in my heart for the road. So if someone says they're coming to see, usually they're smart enough to hit me up about it. Yeah. But like, yeah, if they're in the room and there's not something already scheduled, like at minimum, I'll be like, oh, do you want to go? You want to go to the green room and meet him? I'll introduce you. Like, for etiquette. But like,
you want comics to come hang, and then like if there are local comics, they can come and watch the shows and stuff like that. To
absolutely.
Hang out. That's what I mean. Yeah, just like being able to when you're on the road, it's like a Safeway point. You just get to be like, oh, I know. So even if you don't know any of the comics, you feel.
We only have really 2 in the entire county up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
in the entire county.
Yeah,
in the Tri-County area.
But I'm serious. Like it really is.
We tried to make it a county. That's what I mean.
So like anybody who's coming down, like they usually hit me up and like we're still new enough that they're like, hey, do you have room and stuff? And like we got room most nights.
Nice.
So but yeah, if like it's the first come first serve thing, whereas like if I have a guestie to give out, I'm happy to do it. And
well, yeah, because we had talked about that a little bit because I had a couple people ask, and you were like, yeah, we don't really do. You have to kind of come out to the club a little bit, and is that what you do? You want to see people before you're like, yeah, because you're not going to give it just a loose guest spot. Usually that comes from a headline or whatever. But if someone,
if you get someone vouching for him,
if it's
the right person vouching for him, it would definitely be a thing. AJ's was on, been doing it 10 years, and we're pretty close. So if someone's coming through, he's hit me up, be like, do you have something?
Yeah,
and I'll be honest, if I don't, it's just my buddy Aaron Bell, he's coming from Philly this next week and doing a bunch of Midwestern shows, and I told him like I won't book anything. I was going to host this weekend. If you can make it through here, you can do the 10 hosting.
Yes.
And I don't know if I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if I'm getting bumped.
No, that's how it is. I mean, I'm
fine with that.
A lot.
Yeah.
It changes. Yeah, it definitely changes. But I remember. I mean, the only reason we met too is because AJ had hooked me up to do that showcase. I believe that was how we met. Am I wrong? Because I thought you booked me on that, like there was like a showcase, that outside one or whatever, and that's what I was kind of saying about like what it means to hang out and be around.
Yeah,
is that, like we wouldn't have met that without that night. Because remember we walked, because you were telling me you were like, I want to open up a club, and I was like, really? Yeah. I was like, seriously, and you're like, very seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was at though. I don't remember what club I came, because I was somewhere, and then we came to
So it was an outdoor show.
Was it Zocalo? Was there a Maria
it was like
show?
The garage door was
open.
Oh
yeah. That wasn't you. You might have been on the show.
You were.
If I was in Milwaukee, I was on the show.
And we went to I think it was like a gay bar afterwards. It was so much fun. That you guys party.
Oh yeah.
Like gay bar? Do you mean the karaoke bar?
No.
Is it Lacage?
No, that's 90s gay.
Because that's where we probably would have gone.
Yeah. No, but so Erin, you've been doing stand up for like how long now? 2 years?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years about, yeah.
And where did you start?
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
so I started in Milwaukee. My like first mic was I used to drink heavily at a bar that had an open mic, and I was like a person who liked comedy, so I would like go up and I'd be like, oh my god, you wouldn't believe what the children said to me today, because I was teaching. So I really would just go up and complain, and I wasn't really writing anything so much as I was repeating really good roasts from the day.
Yeah.
I was like,
which that's the best, is the honest shit. You don't really have to change it that much. It's just like what happened.
I was like listen to what Destiny said.
Yeah.
That's really, my set was Destiny's set for the day. It was so weird. I actually ended up doing stand up and doing a joke that I wrote about that kid, and her teacher was in the audience. And like I was like just talking to her after she came up to my friend, because my friend had like a pretty specific joke, and she was talking to my friend. She was like, "That kid really said that to you? I work for MP. Like I'm a teacher."
She's like, "I'll kick his ass."
But then I was like, "Yeah, but it was," and I said the kid's full name, and she was like, and I was like, and she was like, "Yeah, she's in my class right now." And I was like, "What?" And I like work for higher ed, and I do high school programs, so I ended up dropping some pamphlets off and seeing her, and this kid still called me fucking Miss Teacher, and I was like, you called me Humpty Dumpty looking fat ass bitch. How are you not gonna remember my last name?
That's
damn.
That's what she
called me.
How old is she?
Oh, she was 12 at the time.
Dude, I was dating this teacher a little. We were like, and she was like, the kids make fun of me, and I go, what do they say? And then she goes, oh, they'll say like big nose bitch, and I was like, what?
That's insane.
I was expecting like something, but like I thought to people they'd be like, you're stupid. I thought that was.
I don't think kids have any fear.
No.
Like even when we were growing up, like you knew they couldn't hit you, but like you knew your parents could hit you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's such a lack of fear of any type of discipline.
Yeah, I don't. I've definitely like we were like at a wedding and there was this kid and just how this kid was sitting in a suit. I was like, this kid's an adult already. Like this kid brought up the ring and he was sitting there and he was literally like, oh my god, these fucking idiots. Like I swear, to God, when we were sitting, I'm not kidding. None of this is a joke because I was sitting, me and my girlfriend sitting there. I was like, is this real? And this kid goes, he sits next to me. He goes, oh, man, I really miss my little brother. And I'm like, this kid, I swear to God, this kid's like 6 or 7. He's like, yeah. You want to see a picture of him? Mom, show me your phone. And then the kid goes like this and looks at it. I'm not exaggerating at all. He looks and he found the picture and he goes, oh, it's going to make me cry. Look at this kid. I'm like, is he your son?
What happened? Is he dead?
No, he just was like, I miss him. He just didn't see him last night. And this little kid was that adult. And then I remember he was dancing with all the girls. And the next day he walks up and he goes, I was dancing with your girl last night. And I walked up and I go, hey man, I go, if you could take it easy, I go, please don't hit on my girlfriend. And he goes like this. And I swear to God, he goes, I would never hit your girlfriend. And his wife goes, he doesn't know what that means. His wife, yeah.
He's married. She's a little older. She's 9. She's in 4th grade.
Oh my
You're like,
God.
hey, who's your
his
financial
wife.
advisor? I could use some advice.
He looks at me and he's like, what properties do you own, buddy? Yeah. But yeah, there's just, I love it.
You thinking about getting into real estate with this market bouncing back?
Yeah, they're growing. They do have to grow up faster, and even on a less like weird. There was we were in I can't remember what city I was in, but afterwards there was these. It was like three. It was like 2 girls and this guy, and they were like 21 or whatever. And we were sitting afterwards. We were just like I was sitting outside, and they were just like, "Hey, we're hanging out. Like, do you want to like come hang out with us?" And we sat down, and the whole time we were talking, we probably talked for like an hour. And I go, "Dude, can I say something?" I was like, "Not one of you guys pulled out your phone or whatever." They're like, "Yeah, like I think it's kind of like a thing that like." We know we can have it, so we're not as into it as you guys. And so I feel like everyone's growing up a little bit faster, but they were also just like, we were having full conversations just talking. I was like, damn, I thought you guys were going to be kind of idiots. And they're like, no, dude, we're actually growing up a lot faster because everything sucks really bad.
Wow. Interesting.
But how many vapes and zins were they ripping during the entire
They were
conversation?
vaping Zins. They were for sure. They just had the can
loading them up like Pez dispensers.
Dude, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Innovating.
I've been wanting to put in a Zin this whole time.
dude,
so,
put in a Zin, dude. We're sponsored by it if they want to do it.
They want to.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
You got to have one thing sponsor you. What is it?
Sex.
One thing. Gang. I
Just
expected
sex.
a product.
Just sex. Just sex. Guys, this episode's sponsored by Sex. It feels good. That so cool. Like just sex. I would like this episode.
Sorry to my former sponsor, Money.
Yes. Hey, type in code Bobby when you're having sex. You'll get not money off because it's free love, baby. But yeah, if I could if the podcast was sponsored by the idea of sex, I would be pretty stoked. Yeah, but I would say
I think that just wins. I think
it does win. Yeah, I literally was gonna try and top it. I'd be like, you know what?
That's it.
I was like, you know what? Snickers. It's like it would be really nice if a chocolate candy bar just cared about all the growth of us. Let's see what time we're at, and then we've done it, dude. We've had it. Where can everyone find you guys? We're gonna start with Erin. Where can everyone find you? Tell everybody.
Erin _Erin Morris on Instagram. That's typically where I post. I have a show on Thursday in Milwaukee at Can I?
Let's go.
And then I post all my dates on my socials.
That's awesome. Fuck yes. Hell yeah. I get more and I'm like, yes! Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we love meta.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes.
I'm AJ.Grill on all social media. And yeah, I'll be in Chicago on May 7th.
What are you doing there?
Good question.
Just fucking around.
Can't remember. Yeah. I'm just taking the train down. Just gonna say hey to some folks. Back Pocket Brewing. That's not right. It's some back.
A couple museums.
AJ will also be here for some shows between May 1st and 5th. He forgot about him. Doesn't give a shit. Hold on. He's big dicking us.
Time out.
This episode is brought to you by Sex. That's what I'm having tonight.
You mean the festival was supposed to be a headliner, and then my headlining show got taken away?
Let's end with a fight.
That is accurate. That is accurate. So to the coffee company that screwed us on that last minute after I spent $400 on marketing shit, thank you. Appreciate that. There's nothing like just losing money. Anyway,
Erin
yes.
will also be the badger of the company.
I'm also on that, and I did forget that too. So I am
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
But honestly, we both forgot.
They said that submission money. Like Nathan will fucking accept this.
I didn't submit him a headliner.
I know.
Nathan, do you have anything?
Yeah, Nathan L. Clemens on all social media. Book me. I'm good at this. I'm doing 9 minutes on kangaroos right now.
It was 12 minutes, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, this new kangaroo court joke's not working out
While
so
we're
well.
sitting here, you're editing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bits.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
not
Still doing
that.
9 things
I'm
at
not
once,
doing
all right?
that.
Yeah. Support Comedy Cabin. Follow it. Come see a show. Come hang out. I don't care. I'm assuming all 17 viewers of this are in the St. Louis area. I'm scared of East St. Louis, one of 3 cities I'm scared of, and I've been stabbed in Detroit.
Hey, well, a robot cop couldn't even save that city, so don't shit on St. Louis like that.
Listen, East St. Louis, Gary, Baltimore. Those are the only 3 cities I'm scared of.
Wait, is Gary a man that seems like a city to you? You're so scared of him. You're like, I'm scared of St. Louis. Gary.
Yeah, I'm scared.
He's like, what the fuck did you say?
I'm scared.
And I'm on the Badger show. I better be on it. I promoted it on the podcast. I did.
Gary owns the coffee shop.
Gary owns a coffee shop. I'm scared of him. He's got a gun. It's not just a Nintendo light gun.
Oh, that's good. And well, that's great. Yeah, and make sure you check out the Comedy Cabin just opened. You really do have the lineup that, like, as a comic, you completely respect and agree with. Because sometimes there's comedy clubs that you're like, oh, no, and sometimes they have it to where it just seems like it's very outdated. And every time I check the calendar, I'm like, yep. And you really do, like, have your ear to ground. And that's what's cool about, I think, like, being a comic is that you know, like, how to do that. And I had fun looking for mushrooms with you guys today.
Yeah.
And we had fun at Denny's last night.
A lot of
And
fun.
we didn't eat Pop Rocks. We should probably, let's end with the
Ooh,
Pop Rocks
yeah.
in our mouth. Can we end with a
Yeah. Okay.
thank you?
That's scary.
We're going to end with some Pop Rocks.
split.
Ooh.
And,
Feed me like a baby bird.
I'll tell you this. It's not sponsored by Denny's, but we sure would like to be because obviously it's so expensive. I don't check. But
They
I
can
missed the
afford it.
Hobbit menu. Remember when you guys had that? That was fucking wild. I missed they had like a little Hobbit menu, but the movie's not coming out.
Because of the movies back when they had those?
Yeah, I think that was the no, I think I think the movies.
you want a
I can't
double
remember
flavor?
for sure.
Double
But
flavor.
yeah, make sure you do that.
So McChicken
Just be
McDouble?
friends with everybody.
Oh, well, nah.
Share love.
That's the dark arts. Nah.
Be sweet. That's the pod. Put them in, pop them in.
I'm going to my nose. This is a great concept.
Ooh, Pop Rocks one's in.
ASM, are you afraid of the dark? That's been the podcast.
All right, I gotta go see
everybody.
people.
We gotta see people. Thank you so much. We love you.
Thanks, Bobby. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun. Wasn't that fun? Stop recording.
That was fun.